Hey, what's up everyone? I'm Akeem Lawanson, welcoming you back to IGN on the 6, IGN's premier Rainbow Six Siege show. Now today, we've got a special treat for all the newcomers to Siege, players who are looking to get back into the game, and even current players that just want to brush up on their fundamentals. Now we teamed up with TSM FTX's Beaulo, a reigning Rainbow Six Siege world champion, to put together a beginner's guide to Rainbow Six Siege in year 7, where we'll be taking a look at the different roles, their goals within a match, and how you can practice to level up your skills in the game. Now we got a lot to cover, so let's jump into the classroom and get battle ready with Beaulo.
What is up? I am TSM FTX Beaulo. I play for the TSM FTX R6 team. World champion, by the way. I'm also a streamer, YouTuber, been in the game for, as long as I can remember, ever since beta. So I've been playing the game for a long time. In Siege, the main goal for an attacker is to, win the round, of course. But whether that's going to be elimination based by killing all 5 of the defenders or by diffuser. So the main goal really is to get the diffuser and plant the bomb, however you want to say it. Get the diffuser into one of the bomb sites that the defenders are defending, and burn out the clock and make them lose the round. And defenders are on the exact opposite side of that. You're basically just trying to prevent the attackers from getting into the bomb site, planting the diffuser, and another goal is just to eliminate all the attackers and win the round by that. The main job of the hard breacher is to get open the walls, get the bomb down. All 4, the entries, the flank watch, whatever, they might be running to the building. Not you. The hard breacher is gonna be on their drone most likely. Hopefully, like maybe your primary entry sets up an initial pre-placed drone. So in prep phase, the entry puts up a cam. Maybe you'll watch it for a little bit, get that first initial room control, map control, whatever it may be for them. Just sitting on a drone. But you're gonna want to do that extra droning afterward, because the entry's not gonna drone. They're not gonna drone. So you have to take the initiative, take your drone. Say, hey, there's a guy here, push this way, watch out for this, but there's a dude here, so you need to work it. You literally kind of dip your toes into a little bit of everything in the attack. The pre-round, the initial round, the late round, especially the late round. The main job of the entry is going to be the really aggressive player. We've all there's always been the memes about the Ash Jaeger main. It is that in a complete full body picture. Your job is to go and kill. Flank watches on attack are going to be really valuable, because it's kind of like one of those things where you don't really appreciate how good of a flank watch is until you don't have it. So if your flank is being watched, great, sick. It's not really kind of occurring to you. But if you're getting flanked every round, it's all right, who's trolling us? What's happening here? Because the flank watch holds everything. It's kind of like they just hold it down. They hold it down while the rest of the attackers need to do whatever it is that they need to do, the site, or the execute, whatever it is. The flank watch is kind of like the anchor on the move for the attack. Prep phase comes around, drone phase comes around. As an attacker, that is a very influential part of the round, because you get to see how the defense is playing the round. You got to get to see where they're setting up. So a lot of the time people are going to set up outside of the site, because nobody wants to just bunker up 5 man in a site, because then fish in a barrel, you lose the round. So they're going to set up outside, whether it's going to be east or west. You get to figure out, it's all right, where are the defenders playing? Okay, they're over here, a little bit too much, I don't want to go there. Then somebody else can check the other side. hey, it's a little bit lighter over here. Maybe we should, kind of plan for, this side of the take rather than where the defenders are. So it's very easy to kind of get a good reading or good idea of what exactly is going to, happen pre-round and how you kind of want to, adjust accordingly. What really makes a defender an anchor is just the sole job of holding down the site, holding down the bomb site, making sure it's nice and cozy for, the hopeful return of the roamers to come back and play the late round. But again, a lot of the time the anchor is going to have like, some sort of utility that's going to be required, you know, full attention basically while you're alive. Whether it's smoke, maestro, echo, somebody with a nitro, it's going to be really valuable to stop the plant, because if they do get to the site, which a lot of the times they will, you want to be that one guy to, kind of stop them from coming in, stop them from getting that bomb down with smokes, with nitros. You can very easily win around with a well-placed yokai drone. So anchor, basically just hold down the site, be the last line of defense for your team. Lurkers are kind of like, I guess, the same thing as like a roamer. Lurker, roamer, kind of interchangeable, but a lot of the time it's going to be your main sort of defense outside of the bomb site. It's going to be like the more aggressive defenders. They're going to be offsite. They're going to be trying to make plays, trying to make the attackers as uncomfortable as possible. The lurker roamer job is very important because, if you die in the roam, you live on the roam. It's very influential to the round. Very influential. As a roamer, sometimes things don't work out completely in your favor, and you got to do what you got to do. Okay, so say it's not looking too good. It's the 3v5 for you. The attackers have all the map control that they want. Something needs to happen, right? Like, you need to do something to alleviate pressure, even up the numbers, whatever it may be. You need to do something. And a lot of the times, as a defender, that is going to include flanking. And, usually it's going to be the roamer because they're going to traditionally be the faster operators. So, it's a tough job a lot of the time, and depending on who you go against, because there might be nomads, there might be cams, there might be a guy right on top of you watching you. It's a hard job because you never know exactly what is going to happen. I think general rule of thumb for like kind of teamwork and whatnot is, a lot of the time, like I see it in ranked, I do it. I'm not perfect. Sometimes in ranked, I like to have fun, and I just tunnel vision. I just, try to go Terminator mode and kill. But something I see a lot is like, whenever it gets down to like, maybe like it's a 2v2, 40 seconds left, whatnot, you and your homie are still alive. If you get it, to try to talk about what you want to do with the round. It's like, yo, can we plant? Should we plant? Where are these guys? Do we have time to drone? Whenever you have the opportunity to try to get a pick, make it, a man advantage in your favor, always try to include somebody else, because, otherwise it's just a 1v1 at that point. And a 1v1 can go, it's either you win it or they win it, right? So it's just about including surviving members along the plan with you. You want to make sure you're using your lanes, using your movement in your advantage. And sometimes holding angles, like, it's good, but sometimes it's not good enough, because like at the end of the day, it's an online game, and it's not a siege thing, but Peeker's advantage is a thing. It very much is a thing in every online game. So holding angles, like holding too tight of an angle or too passive of one, isn't the best thing. So sometimes you want to kind of be like a little bit, I don't want to say jumpy, but a little bit on like the aggressive side of it, because a lot of the times, if you're in a very predictable spot, it's not going to end out too well for you. Another like rule of thumb is just like, it might be hard to think in the moment, but try to put yourself in the attacker's shoes. It's like, all right, if I'm in this situation, I don't have any info. Where is this defender gonna play? It's like, oh, what if he's head glitching the bomb? You know what? Hey, maybe that's a good idea. You just come around swinging and free fire him. Obviously, you might not be there, but it's all about predictability and trying to beat it. I think some gadgets that are really, really beginner friendly, especially for defenders, is like trap operators. So like Legion, Melusi, Elif, you can handle the guns. Even Thorn, good gun, has a shield, plus the utility is very similar to what I'm talking about, like the trap operators, Frost 2. Because like Legion, you put down a goo, you hear like the little goo spike sound, whatever, and somebody's in that general area. Same thing with Thorn, but Thorn has a shield. Thorn has a pretty good gun. I don't know if it's better than the T5, but pretty good gun. But you can throw the Razor Blooms, away from the side, away from an area that maybe you have like a slight idea that someone's gonna come in from, or maybe you've been playing somebody that's been coming through there and you want to kind of counter them. Put a Razor Bloom and know exactly where they are. Basically, trap operators, I think, are very beginner friendly, just because it's like your utility is all dependent on just where people are going to come from, and to kind of give you a little bit of information on that. Melusi's the best, right? Melusi is the best at knowing where people are, because her banshees are, they're loud. You have to shoot them. You have to blow them up. As an attacker, it is not fun late round getting into a site just to walk into a banshee. But beginner friendly ops are definitely traps, because you put utility down, you put a frost mat down, you put a cap and trap down, and there's a chance you get a kill for doing nothing. It's like what I was saying about the whole, whenever you want to take a fight, you want to make sure you have the advantage at all costs. If you can kill somebody without shooting your gun, exposing your body to them, if you can kill somebody by just laying down in a corner, duh. So it's like low risk, high reward for the trap operators. Siege is one of its kind, where it's got multiple levels, destructibility, and we have operators in the game that use that to their advantage very well. Sledge, those soft breachers like I was talking about, very good. Verticality in this game, very valuable. Literally every map is, it is prone to being completely destroyed by a sledge from vertical holes, whatever it may be. I don't think there's ever like a time, competitively as well, competitively speaking, I don't think there's ever a time where there's not a soft breacher in the lineup. It is always there, just for that, that potential of doing it. And, sometimes, you do top down, sometimes you do, bottom vertical holes. It all depends, because, you don't necessarily need Buck to do bottom takes. All you need is nades. If you know how to nade from below, you can literally just bomb the site from below. And the defenders, they can't really do anything about it. They can go to like, safe spots, but if you play it right, you can kill them out of those too. It's all about just knowing what your team wants to do, where the defenders are, because the defenders can't be everywhere, right? Like, they can't have their majority of their force be on top and on the bottom. Like, they just can't do that. So there's going to be a weak point somewhere. Sometimes that weak point will be up top, and you can do the top down. Sometimes it'll be bottom, and whatnot. So it all just depends on how the defenders are playing it and how you want to counteract it. Because at the end of the day, top down, soft breach, it's really valuable, and it can win rounds. If I had to narrow it down, best beginner, ops for recoil and everything, I'd probably pick Sledge for attack with the L8, and probably just on recoil, probably Frost C1. But overall, probably I might just do the T5 on like Legion, just because Legion's a really good beginner op. Doesn't have a whole lot of recoil and the gun shreds. But the MP5 is a close second. Usually whenever like someone comes to my stream and asks you know, like, hey, what should I do when I pick up the game? I always like give them like the select operators to kind of start out with that are really easy, like Sledge, good gun, low recoil, has a hammer. Everybody knows what a hammer does, right? You hit it, it goes smack and something opens. Defenders, Legion, like the trap operators, so like you kind of know where people are. But I also tell them, like, you know, like if you really want to learn to do something, you watch the best people do it, right? Like if you just watch Pro League. Watch Pro League and you'll get like a little bit of an idea of what's kind of going on, like what operators are actually like worth bringing a lot of the time, because it's like, you know, in Pro League, people aren't bringing it for fun, right? They're bringing it for a reason. They're bringing it for the specific reason for the round, and they want to do something with it, and because it's, you know, probably the best operator in its category. If you've taken a break from Siege, you know, because I've heard a lot of people taking breaks from Siege. They still watch it, so it's still an interesting game to watch. But like if you're taking a break, I think it's a good time to get back into it. There's a lot of changing things, and you know, for new players as well, there's never a good time to jump into the game. There's always going to be a ton of information to absorb, and so like of course, the earlier you get into it, the better off you're going to be. But it doesn't really matter. I think you can get into it whenever. You just gotta take the time to learn and really like just figure out what's going on and everything. And I think, again, a good time is right now, because it's very user friendly. I know, you know, there's like a TDM mode coming out, so you can really kind of work on your mechanics, get used to how the game feels and everything. Casual is a really good thing. There's like that. There's a newcomer playlist, always good. Kind of gives you, you know, a starting point. And of course, like the ops, like I've said, Sledge is really, you know, the fact that like you can look at Sledge, I can show Sledge's picture and like his icon to somebody, and it's like, what does this guy do? Oh, he's got a hammer. He probably hits things. It's just like trying to find something really simple and really easy to kind of start out with, and just kind of like, you know, slowly ease your way into the game. The one thing that will really keep me like excited and hopeful for the future of Siege is just, again, the introduction of new things. Like the TDM mode has been a thing that's been like requested. It's been talked about for so long, and it's, you know, it's finally coming. So that's crazy. You can finally like sit down and relax and work on your mechanics without, you know, having to go into a T hunt, you know, refresh, and you actually get to play against real people, real movement, real gun skill, and work on yourself.
Thank you so much to Beaulo for breaking down that beginner's guide to jumping into Rainbow Six Siege in Year 7. Ready to take on this new year of Siege? Then check out the all-new Team Deathmatch Mode as a way to hone your skills and level up your gameplay. Now, if you feel like you still haven't gotten your Rainbow Six Siege fix, IGN's Wiki Guides got you covered for everything on the operators, gadgets, weapons, and more. I'm Akeem, and thanks for watching IGN on the 6.